our family does feel our love when we do what we do for the family with intention and care. So now I see finding inspiration to cook as a necessity, not just a luxury. Do you want inspiration to find ways to incorporate a Mediterranean element into your Christmas gatherings? Do you love Mediterranean food and wonder if there's a way to add that to your Christmas menu? In this episode, we'll dive into finding sources of inspiration so that you can make your own creative spin to add a Mediterranean flair to your Christmas gatherings. Is it hard to make healthy food choices and find time to exercise because you're too busy? Welcome to Self-Care for Busy Moms. I'm your host, Susan. That was me, overwhelmed with my kids' schedules, running things smoothly and ignoring the stress that was affecting my body. But then I found ways to bring myself back to health with food, exercise, and Christ. I can't wait to share them with you too. Get your step counter and remember the sunscreen. It's time to get started on your self-care. Guess what? I have a new freebie for you. I know this is a busy season and self-care sometimes gets lost in the shuffle of the seemingly torrential waves of events and parties and gift planning that goes on in this month. I created a self-care checklist that you can just print out and post somewhere where you can see it easily so you're reminded of at least a few things that you can do for yourself. You can check them off as you do them and see how your week went. Just print out a new one each week. This is one small way that you can stay motivated and accountable to yourself to steward your body well. The link is suroselfcare.myflowdesk.com/tracker. The link will also be in the show notes. Hey friend, who needs inspiration in order to cook? I know I do. I'm raising my hand up here right now. I don't have many cookbooks, but the ones that I have are true treasures that spark my creativity and remind me why I love cooking for my family. I love to flip through the pages just to dream. It stirs up my love for making something delicious and nourishing for my family. I find it fun to peruse through these pages of the cookbooks, or it could be online photos of dishes because it stirs up an excitement of cooking and builds up anticipation of what we could feast on. I'm not a natural cook, so I need inspiration. If you are like me, this is the episode for you. Sometimes I'll use ChatGPT to help meal plan, but for me, that's more of a tactical step, like the steps are of the how-tos. But before I even get to ChatGPT with the meal planning, I need to have inspiration first. So I usually get inspiration from pictures, flavors, and ideas. So once I have an inspiration or a vision of the theme, then I'll do a ChatGPT meal planning to find ways to adjust what I want to my family's dietary needs. So a few Christmases ago, my third son, he gave me a cookbook, and it's called The Mediterranean Dish, Simply Dinner by Susie Caradche. I feel like every time I say her last name, I'm not saying it right. So it's Susie Caradche. I believe that's how it's pronounced, but I'm probably doing it great disservice. Anyway, this cookbook was one of the best gifts ever. My kids, they love Mediterranean food, and they know how much I adore it also. So this cookbook was just perfect. That winter, I read through it voraciously, even when I didn't have time to cook. I tried some of the quicker recipes that looked inspiring, but when I had more time, and this was much later, about 5 months after receiving the cookbook, it was around May, after school was out, I made the ciabatta bread recipe from that cookbook. And let me tell you, my family, they were thrilled to have the smell of fresh baked bread filling the house again. It reminded all of us of my sourdough baking bread days during the pandemic and how food can bring back such comforting memories. I think I had time to make ciabatta bread a few more times after that, and the boys absolutely loved it. But then around midsummer, I would say July-ish, things got busy again, and I haven't made it since. Anyways, I mention this because since getting the cookbook, I have been referring to Susie's website for recipe inspirations for the past couple of years. Susie has great ideas on how to create a mezze platter and other dishes that would be great for a Christmas gathering, like a charcuterie board. I'll link in the show notes her website because I am so inspired by her dishes and her ideas. Maybe you may be also. So this season, I found her 27 Mediterranean Christmas brunch recipes, and I can't wait to try some new ones and maybe add a few to our family traditions. This particular website will be in the show notes below. Some tips that were recommended on her site are to make ahead as much as you can. So pre-make what you can, chop, prep other ingredients in advance. She also suggests focusing on casseroles or frittatas that can be made ahead and then reheated. Mind you, this article was about putting a brunch together for Christmas. But I like these ideas for what I could prep for my family during winter break when everyone is home together. You want to aim for a variety of colors and flavors. This is just a good practice to incorporate a variety of vegetables with a full range of vitamins and nutrients that our body needs. She recommends to have party platters ready as finger food and as an appetizer. Finally, her suggestion is to have a drink station, and that really resonated with me. When we had a lot of people over in our old home, we would have all the drinks in one location, like the water, the juice, and the sodas. This really helped with preventing bottlenecks anywhere in the food buffet line. It allowed for a good distribution of people at different locations. As you know, no one likes to wait too long to get their food. So as I plan our Christmas meal this year, I'm thinking about adding a couple of things. The first one is the roasted veggies with Mediterranean flair. I'm going to chop up eggplants, zucchinis, feta cheese, and colorful peppers, and then drizzle them with olive oil and season it with oregano, garlic, salt, and pepper. So I might do like a roasted veggie dish to go with our Christmas meal. Another thing that I am inspired to do that's new is to do a Mediterranean style party platter. Think charcuterie meets mezze. So we're thinking figs, grapes, prosciutto, salami, feta cheese, cucumbers, falafel, hummus, olives, marinated artichokes, and pita. So it could be just like finger food for before a meal or as we're eating a meal. During the couple of weeks of winter break when all my kids are home, I'm also brainstorming ways to keep my boys, my family, fed. So I'm also considering a Mediterranean-inspired casserole to somehow go into rotation during the break, something that could be made ahead so my boys can easily reheat it when they're home, when they're hungry, and I don't feel like I'm in the kitchen all the time cooking away and slaving away at the stovetop. So all of my boys, they're going to be home. So I'm thinking of easy ways to prepare this, possibly at night, to then go into the oven in the morning, or even making it in advance that night, and then the boys can just reheat it whenever they want. So how would this look for you? Have a vision of what your Christmas break is going to look like, and do you need to start planning some reheatable options for your kids that you can prepare in advance? Maybe a casserole might be a good thing to start having in rotation just so that there's leftovers that the kids can reheat easily during the day. Cooking for my family is one of the most tangible ways that I can show love. Honestly, I can be pretty Spartan about food. I don't need fancy dishes. In fact, I could really be very basic when it comes to what I eat. The less work I need to do to get something for myself to eat is usually the way it goes. How about you? We're all busy moms. Do you enjoy making food for yourself? Or do you find that you keep yourself sustained with whatever is convenient and quick nearby? I am definitely the latter, which is why when I make the time to intentionally make something for myself, the whole meal gets elevated to an act of self-care where I really feel joyful and thankful to the Lord. Normally, I'm just grabbing something to reheat from the fridge. I find myself too rushed to bother to take the time to intentionally put a meal together for myself. And there's other things that I always seem to have to focus on that seems more important. Well, going back to cooking for my family, this is easier for me to put the effort into cooking because I love it when my family enjoys what I make. Not every recipe is a hit, trust me. I've had plenty of cooking fails, but when I get it right, it's such a blessing to see their joy. When I'm inspired and excited to cook, my family can feel the love in the cooking. Have you ever heard of people saying that they can feel if someone cooked a meal with love or not? I remember hearing that many years ago and never really thought much of it until recently. I still consider that saying an old wives' tale, and I'm putting air quotes around that, but it does remind me that our family does feel our love when we do what we do for the family with intention and care. So now I see finding inspiration to cook as a necessity, not just a luxury. Do you ever get stuck cooking the same meals over and over? I know I get stuck. I get stuck now and then, and when this happens, that's my cue that I need to go find some inspiration. And if you find yourself in a similar situation, go get inspired. Pull out a cookbook, browse online, or look at beautiful food photos. Let creativity come back into your kitchen, and yes, you can even ChatGPT your meal plan afterward to make it fit your dietary needs. I do that too. Are you a creative and a visual learner like me? If so, find pictures of delicious food and be inspired to put your own spin on it. Your family will be blessed. What is one thing that you learned from this episode that you will apply this week? Are you going to take a look at maybe some casserole recipes that will work for your family? How about a charcuterie platter at your Christmas gathering? Check out some of the websites that I will post in the show notes. I hope you have fun and getting inspired. God bless you, sister. Don't forget to head over to suroselfcare.myflowdesk.com/tracker to get your self-care tracker to keep you on track with your self-care this month. Hey, Mama! Thank you for listening to the end. If you enjoyed today's episode, would you bless another mom who's looking for simple routines to feel healthy again? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcast. I'm always so encouraged to know that this podcast is helping you. Together, we can encourage one another for long-term strength and health because it matters to our families and for future generations to come. Just a reminder that I am not a substitute for medical advice. God bless you.